Hey friends, welcome to this new video where I'm going to break down how I would manage my money if I were to start a Band 5 role in Central London again in the NHS. Before we start, I'd like to say that I'm not a financial advisor, so anything in this video is for educational purposes only and shouldn't be taken as financial advice. Please do your own research before taking any action. So for the purpose of this video, we're going to assume a few things. So a Band 5 role is generally straight after uni, so I'll be around 23 years old, not married, renting a shared house in London, in central London, with a full-time Band 5 role in the NHS, with a standard tax code which will be 1257, and we're going to have a look at what that means. And I also like to enjoy life as a new graduate, so going out with friends, going out for dinner, and going to the gym. So according to the new pay scales for Agenda for Change released on the 22nd of May 2025, a salary for an entry point graduate at Band 5 in central London would earn the in French salary of £37,259 a year. And we're going to break this down how much we will get net. So the gross will be the 37,000 divided by 12, which comes to 3,105 monthly. To calculate your taxable income, your gross annual salary minus your tax-free allowance. So for tax code 1257, your tax-free allowance for the year would be £12,570. So gross minus this will be 24-ish K a year divided by 12 will be £2,057.42. Then to find out how much pay tax will pay, you generally should be a standard taxpayer at 20%. So that's 20% of your taxable income, which comes to about £400. As you'll be a Category A employee, your national insurance contributions will be 8% above a certain threshold and then 10% above that. And generally, I find that counting about 7% of your taxable income gives a good estimate. So that will be your taxable income times 7%, which equals about £144. Then, if you contribute to an NHS pension, that will be 9.8% of your gross income, which was £3,105, which equals about 300 quid. To find out your net, so you then need to do your monthly gross minus all these deductions, which comes at about £2,245 and 21p. And that's also if you don't have a student loan to repay. I would advise, as a new graduate, just to get used to checking your payslip at the end of each month. Always go back to your payslip, make sure that you understand what's what in your payslip. Your employer or your manager should be able to help you understand what payslip looks like and what the contents are. But if you feel like this could be helpful in a video, then let me know in the comments and I'll get some time to do that. Before we carry on, if you could hit the like and subscribe button, that will help me grow and get credibility. So now we know how much net we get a month as a Band 5. I'm going to introduce you the 50, 30, 20 method that is recommending as a budgeting method. So the 50% will be the needs. So 50% of your net will go to your needs and essentials. The 30% will go to your wants. And the 20% of your net will go to your savings or investments. And doing this through proportion, so 50%, 30%, 20%, takes off the pressure of the amount that you would want to put into these categories, but rather the proportions, so the amount will grow as your salary grows as well. These targets, I recommend you to have them automated. It prevents emotions and impulse buying getting in the way. The 50, 30, 20 method is recommended by lots of different banks. For example, here, Lloyd's, where this article will give you a bit more details on what should go into your needs, into your wants, or into your savings. Okay, so we're going to first tackle your needs, and according to the 50, 30, 20 method, the needs will be 50% of your net. So for Band 5, that will be half the £2,245, which will be about £1,100. So a rent in London, in central London, will be about £900. The bills on top will be £100. And if you share a house with 3 housemates, your council tax will be around £75. The groceries also count into your needs, which will be generally about £50 a week. So that will be £200 a month, for a total monthly need expenses of £1,275.
Oh no!
And as you can see, that amount is higher than your 50%. So I would recommend in central London as a Band 5 to have your needs 55% of your net. So that leaves the ones that should be at 30% now down to 25%. And 25% of your net, so £2,245, will be about £560. And that will go towards the gym, going out, shopping, eating out, whatever you guys want. In terms of the 20% savings, I do think this is non-negotiable to build wealth over time because I want my money to work as hard as I did to get it. And so 20% of the Band 5 net will be about 450 quid. And as a new graduate, we'll put £200 a month in a cash ISA, which at the moment has an interest rate of about 4.5%, so will still grow over time until I get to 3 months of needs expenses. So that would be 3 times the essential expenses, which equals about £3,800. Of course, this does take time to build over time, but the idea is that if we have an emergency fund, in case of any emergency such as the car breaks down, the washing machine breaks down, whatever big expense can go under the emergency fund rather than eating your investments. I will put £100 of this into a stocks and share ISA, which will be again tax-free, into a global index fund and the S&P 500, so £50 and £50. So then I would put £50 into crypto, for example Bitcoin and XRP. And this still leaves me £100 a month to save for a holiday or to spend on going out with friends again. Again, for me, these investments are non-negotiable to build wealth over time. And I just want to show you some numbers to give you a bit of an idea of what these investments will look like in future. So we have a look at this compound interest calculator here with an initial investment of £200 if you started today, with an interest rate of 8%, and that comes from the average return from the S&P 500, which is about 10 to 12% year on year, minus the inflation rate, which is about 4%, gives you an interest rate of 8%. After 20 years, these contributions could be worth £86,000. And after 40 years, these contributions could be worth a staggering £487,000 with the same contributions at the same salary. In reality, with experience, with promotions, these contributions will likely increase. And this highlights the power of compound interest. And because these contributions are in stocks and shares ISA, which is completely tax-free, you won't ever pay tax on it. And I do agree, 20% of your net into savings does initially feel like it could be a waste. But if you look at the compound interest over time, for me there's no-brainers. And I really do think this comes from a mindset perspective. You need to start thinking like an investor rather than a consumer. I understand it's great to have fun, going on lots of holidays and stuff, but actually budgeting well, you're still able to build a financial future, build wealth over time, whilst enjoying life and not feeling as deprived. And I'm going to challenge you to try the honest budget. So pick a random month within the last year and download your bank statement and categorize your needs payments, your wants payments, and your savings, and find out what the proportions are. Let us know in the comments and let us know if it matches the 30-50-20 rule. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe and share it with your friends, please. And you can also click on this video here to find out 5 tips to build wealth as a healthcare worker without the burnout. On this note, I'll see you in the next video.